What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we'll be going over modules in Python. Modules are just Python files. They end in the .py extension, and they're just ways for us to organize data into different components for a larger project. So let's go to the drawing board. So like I mentioned, modules are a way for us to organize our data into components. So for example, say we wanted to create a game, right? And so we have this one game Python file. But we want to organize all of our data inside of this one file. We want to have different files. Let's redo that. So let's say we have our game, and we have different components of the game. Say we have, I don't know, soldiers. So S stands for soldiers. Say we also have weapons. So W stands for weapons. And say we have a Python file for our board. So these are all files, right? And they all do different things. But in our actual game file, we import these various components into our game file so that it's better organized. Okay? So let's actually look at this in code. So here we are, we have our school class that we built in our object-oriented programming series. And we have the school class, the student class, which inherits from the school class, and the teacher class, which also inherits from the school class. Now, this is just a Python file. As you can see here, it has the name classes_tut.py. So the name of the module is classes_tut. So it's just a traditional Python file. It has classes, it has methods and variables within these classes, and these are all accessible if they're public. Okay? So now I have a module here called modules_tut.py. And this is another program. And what we can do is we can import my classes_tut file. Okay? So to do that, we use the import statement. So import, we use the keyword import, and then the name of the module. Okay? So the name of the module is classes_tut. Okay? So this is an import statement. Import and then the name of the module. And now we can use whatever is publicly accessible inside of that module. So to do that, let's create a student. So if we have here, the student is a subclass of the school class, and the student class accepts the first name, last name, and grade as arguments. So let's instantiate a student object. So let's do student1. And because we're importing the classes_tut module, we have to put classes_tut before we grab a variable or a method or whatever we're trying to get. So we put the name of the module dot, and now we can create a student object. So in the student class, in the classes_tut file, to create a student object, all we would do is student and then put the parameters or the arguments in. Now, if we're accessing it through a module, we have to put the name of the module and then just dot what we would normally do, okay? So let's just do what we did. John Doe, and he's in 12th grade. Okay, so we access the class inside of the classes_tut module. And now we have access to all the public variables and methods, okay? So let's print the student1 and then their first name. Student1 dot, and their first name is actually protected, so we shouldn't really be accessing this, but for this example we will, and this will print out John. Okay, so we have access to the variables, we have access to the methods. Now this is a traditional import statement, but we can clean this up a little bit. So we can do that. We can use the as keyword, and then we can write a shorter version of the module name. So instead of classes_tut, let's do CLS, which stands for class, okay? So let's do CLS. Now, instead of writing classes_tut, we can use just CLS. So this is just a way of writing our code in a more readable and shorter manner, okay? So we're just replacing classes_tut with CLS by using this as keyword. Now, it does the same thing. It still prints out John. And another thing we can do is we can import specific sections of a module. So say instead of Say we only wanted the student class, for example. So we can do from classes underscore underscore tut, classes underscore tut, I mean, import student. Okay. So this imports only the student class. And the reason why you want to do this is because sometimes you don't want to import the whole class because that's taking up space, right? You don't want to take up unnecessary space. So we're only importing the student class and we don't need the CLS anymore. So now we can just do this, just like we would do inside of the classes underscore tut module. We can just use a standard instantiation, right? So this again does the same thing because we're only importing the student class. And we could do the same thing. We could, and actually to import multiple classes from the same module, we can separate it by comma. So I can say import student and then import teacher. So now I can create a teacher object doing the same thing. And the teacher will be Amari last name programs. And it also accepts a salary. I make $500,000 a year. Okay. So we imported the student class and the teacher class. And notice that there's also a school class, but if I tried to create a school object, it wouldn't work, okay? Because we don't have access to that. See, we get school is not defined. All right. So again, we have access to these student and teacher classes because we imported them using the from module name import our classes. And again, we also have access to the methods. So I know that teacher one has the get raise method. And this is public, so I can use it. And this was just for now, it will increase the salary and then print out the salary. So it was 500,000. Now I make 515,000 a year. Okay. So that's it for modules. This is something that you'll definitely use when you're building applications. You should separate your applications into various components so that it's easier to maintain. And that will do it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy.